What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at the best meta wingers in FC24, and we're going to start off with something a little bit different. We are looking at a few SBCs just to show you how many wingers we actually get. SBCs this year have gone crazy. We have got so many, it is unbelievable, and each position has got multiple that you could have missed out on or could have just got, and they could be right in your club. From the likes of obviously the St. Max from the Black Friday promo, multiple showdowns, 2 icons, Lozano's FC Pro, 2 Sterlings from the FC Versus, and a very, very good Martinelli. I must admit, depending on what your ultimate team journey is like, are you looking for a specific club, nation, league, type? I don't know what you're trying to go with, but there is different kind of arguments between others. Sometimes you might be looking at a past and present Chelsea team. So you're looking at a Mudryk, you're looking at obviously a Sterling there. If then you may be going for a past and present, or at least a present French team, you could go for St. Max. Or maybe you are building yourself one of the best wingers you can get in a Martinelli winter wildcard. There's a lot of options for why you could or should have done these SBCs. Some of them, if I was looking at this list, I think Ian Wright's not a bad shout, a little bit expensive, and I'd probably say Martinelli. Showdowns are kind of more based towards, obviously, the cost of them at the moment. I must admit, most of them are normally reasonably valued, but really they don't get into many people's teams, especially if they don't get the upgrade as well. But over the course of this list, we are going to go through the low rated, the low priced, all the way up to the top dollar ballers, and we most definitely have a few pages that are very interesting. So if we are looking at kind of the lower tier at this point, we have got a Pedro Neto SBC that is still available. So I would definitely recommend him, because not only are you now looking at a card who could go into your main team, could be upgraded, for instance, something like Teller, there is obviously the big shout of evolutions. We've seen it with Malin, we've seen it with plenty of the gold cards of Ansu Fati, we've seen Rafinha get one, but we haven't quite seen the Vinny Juniors get their first evolutions as of yet. Whether we see that just before Team of the Season, I kind of hope the meta players, the Virgils, the Messis, the Mbappes, don't get them until the very end, otherwise that's going to make Team of the Season very hard to actually get hyped for. But when it comes to someone like a Pedro Neto, you've got to look at the balance of stats, especially when you are looking at an evolution, because it might not be a pace-based kind of evolution. You could be looking at a shooting, a passing, a physicality bonus, maybe even a cheeky weak start or weak foot or skill move upgrade that would allow him in there, because not everything has a recommendation of a max 91 pace, a max 88 dribbling. You could find one that does suit him down to the ground. So that is personally a big shout for a lot of the cheaper SBCs that potentially could be good in the future. If I was looking at somebody like, probably no one on this list, everyone would actually be really good with an evolution, but if we find somebody, say we go for, now it's going to be struggled on my mind. We're going to go for someone like a Anthony. Say we go Anthony, just out of debate. Obviously, he would be incredible as a 99, but for instance, we're looking at him as an 88. I'm not going to want him the evolution of the 88. If he did manage to get an 86, an 87 SBC that was 50,000 coins, 100,000 coins, later on he could go up into that kind of level. Whereas when we look at somebody on the lower end, somebody maybe from a kind of almost like a silver, bronze, maybe even like a 75 winger, there is only so many evolutions that you will get, but also that actually make him more viable as an option, because composure can't be done by chemistry style, and sometimes the actual body composure, just how they're built, how they're programmed into the game, just does not work. If you've ever seen a bronze player go from 60 rated all the way up to an 88, a 90, some of them work really well with it. They may have had their own unique body type, or they might just feel blocky as ever and still feel semi-bronze level, where you might be better with a gold Vinny at that point. So it is always questionable what sort of evolutions you go for, but I do think Pedro Neto's got a big shout for it. Teller is next to him because, honestly, I feel like he could get an upgrade. Bayer Leverkusen are flying. Whether they actually go anywhere in the Europa, that's going to be one to mention. But the Rapid Plus already, striker, and let alone all the issues the card has had. He's been gold, he's been 98. You buy a silver, you get a road to the final. There is just so much around this card. I just cannot believe how many mistakes one card can actually have. Malin, I like him as a striker, but I must admit, as a winger, he absolutely delivers. I know there was an 89 that you could have done to get him all the way up from his gold card, I believe. But this card still is absolutely brilliant for the price. Same as Dembele. We've got him at 130. Big thing with Dembele, rapid plus on the base, and also still a 5-star 5-star. That is absolutely massive for any card, let alone being in PSG and French for them extra links as well. Ansu, I feel like, came a little bit late. We have now got an upgraded version. We will touch on him later. But we did have, or at least I've managed to do the 85 evolutions on I think the first 3 days of him being out. So the fact that we've only got an 86 at the Thunderstruck promo is crazy, but still a good card. Don't know if I'd quite go 160 for him, but he still definitely is a very good winger. Like Diaby, I think some players just have that winger mentality. Obviously with Diaby, you've got the Power Shot Plus and the Technical between the two Fire and Ice promo cards. Couple of extra dribblings for one of them. I must admit I'd probably go with that ice as well. The only problem is I kind of want a bit of power shot also, so you've got to go between your kind of what you prefer. It is left mid or right mid for that card. Vinny, the second most expensive gold card on the game, still at 230, which just is so nostalgic of the Neymar, Messi, Ronaldo golds that literally was 3, 4, 500k until literally team of the season. So he is definitely holding up his end. Mbappe's in a crazy 1.7, which is to be expected. But Vinny is still holding a very good price. And honestly, I don't know if I've packed him yet either. Looking at the top trio, we've got Rieten in the UCL Road to the Final version. They have got Ajax in their first 2 matches, it's 2 legs, in the quarterfinal for hopefully her first upgrade. I personally don't know how well both are doing. I just know they are playing each other, and that is the potential to get her up into that next level. Figo, always a great shout. I actually really like him as a winger. Again, I feel like with his playstyle plus, I would probably like him more with a rapid. I think I could probably say that about most wingers, but with the technical, I don't think it does him as just service as it should. As I do like him technically on the ball, I just wish I had a bit of a better playstyle for him. And Rafinha is kind of one, again, to grow. This card is definitely missing out on a massive potential upgrade, whether we see it in the next sort of promo. I believe Foot Fantasy's coming up next with some heroes, so it could be a good shout to get him into maybe a 5-5. That could be for Foot Birthday as well. If your team's looking like this, then I have the place for you. Head over to U7Buy for all your coin needs. They're cheap, fast, and reliable, but make sure to use JT11 at the checkout for 6% off all of your coin orders. We then have a few more in a kind of topper category. I've tried to link some together as well. When we look at the Diani, we got 350 for the Thunderstruck, 384 for obviously the Team of the Year Honourable, and the only difference between them is a double playstyle plus. As you can see, every stat is exactly the same. Some cases we did get a skill move or weak foot upgrade, but for Diani it was mainly because of that double. So honestly, for the extra 20k, 30k, I would 100% go with that Team of the Year Honourable. Both of them can play striker anyway, so it's not a problem. But in terms of her, she is phenomenal. If you have not used her before, give her a go because she is crazy on that right wing. We then look at the likes of Ribery, one that I don't think really hit off, to be honest. At the start of the game, maybe it was just his supply. He just was never in teams. They almost just skipped his rating. Now we look at the Team of the Year icon. That is a phenomenal card. Genuinely, 5-5 already on the base, so that's perfect. He then does have the added bonus of Finesse Shot Plus. The stat upgrade is nice. It's a +4 overall. Both cards, for me, are very good cards. I would obviously go for the Team of the Year icon, but I'd still pretty much be happy with the 88. Hopefully, again, we could see maybe a later evolutions to bring them over, because, let's face it, the Team of the Year icons, unless you're buying them with however many coins you've got, they are pretty much unpackable until Foot is, and I can imagine he should have an upgraded version by then. Hugo Sanchez, we definitely went through a theme of winter wildcards, a lot of icons getting left wings, from Owen, Lineker, Hugo, Butragueno, there, and Suker as well. There is a lot of left wings going on, and I must admit, Hugo definitely does it pretty well. We've got Georgie Best coming down in price now to 480. Definitely off the meta a little bit, but I still think you could get away with him easily. A lot of them do have technical. We've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, And that's it on this page. We've got 4 players out of the 11 with the technical plus. Some of them obviously doesn't have it. We've got first touch for Felix. Love Felix's in-game body. Absolutely brilliant. Whenever you get a 5-5 Felix as well over that 90 rated, he reminds me very much of a Griezmann. The gold card, is okay. He's nothing crazy. We get an inform. It's a little bit better. We get then an outer performance-based card. But once we hit that team of the season, that 94, 95 rated card, their body types really take over. And if they are generous for that 5-5, he is going to be as fantastic as ever. Diaz, very, very big card here. Still actually a massive price at 615. That is massive for him. But he is a phenomenal character in the team. The playstyle plus is the only thing I think he's missing. Maybe you could have the 5-star skiller and if you wanted weak foot as well, just to complete the card. But in terms of a winger, he does it absolutely perfect, even without the playstyle plus. We have got the upgraded Dembele. Still crazy to think we had Haaland. Like, I know they didn't have the full upgrades, but we had Modric, Haaland, Lewandowski and Dembele in literally one of the first promos. Then we did get the upgrade, but how crazy is that to see that level of meta that early on in the game? I know we had a CR7 straight away, but it didn't feel that broken in comparison to what these cards have actually turned into. Then we have Lauren James. I believe the highest rated future star, not future star icon. I want to say she was the most expensive at some point. No, she couldn't have been gone. Actually, it was like 3.5. But she is definitely the most rated at this moment in time. Whether we see a Cole Palmer go above her, a Højlund go above her, it will be interesting to see that one. But I still think she is incredible as a winger. I know she is technically a striker by default. The rapid plus the flair, a 5-star, 4-star. She is destined for that wing. And future, I'm interested to see what this FUT fantasy holds because there is a lot of heroes I want to see a big upgrade for. And if Future doesn't get another upgrade with at least a 4-star weak foot, we're going to kick some doors down. Now we've got a page of kind of very similar cards. When we look at them, we have got Rivaldo, who was absolutely needed. A lovely double upgrade for his weak foot, taking him to a 4-4. The upgrade himself from obviously the 89 or 88. 90. Did he only get a 1 upgrade? Okay. I thought he got a double upgrade, but hey ho, I will absolutely take it because he needed that weak foot upgrade. A 2-star weak foot every single year is just not enough for him. I'm glad that they upgraded him, and even Butra going for that 4-5 as well. I believe his normal base is 3-5. It's a great upgrade. May have took him to that left wing, but still can finish like the rest of them. But then we have 4 cards to finish off the rest of the 9 players. We have got Saka. Saka was another one actually, of course he was. He managed to get a 91 road to the knockout. No playstyle plus, unfortunately. Team in the group stage come, and then we get a right wing that is the same rating, but he's got the power shot plus. There is very little difference between them, yet one is 389k and one is 775k. I mean, I get the playstyle plus adds a value, but an extra 400k almost is absolutely criminal. Same with Rodman, to be honest. I think when you look at the cards together, you've got 53,000 coins for 86, or you have 755 for a double playstyle plus that is relentless. Stat-wise difference, 1 pace, 2 shooting, 3 passing, 3 dribbling, defending don't care, and 2 physical. Is that worth 720,000k more? I don't think so. I just don't. There's still a 4-4. The quick step is obviously the better playstyle plus. I would much rather go for the cheaper option. She is a very good card going down the wing, especially if you've got a Team of the Year Smith, if you've done the Alex Morgan SBC. I don't know if Swanson's got a left wing in terms of an inform or a special, but definitely even if you've got her in the team, you've got a great link. But the extra price for a future star is ridiculous. Then we have Rashi. Obviously got one in the Centurions, which was a good upgrade. Very nice for the time. Now we've kind of gone a bit past him. He has lost a bit of value. He's sitting at like 1.5 mil for a long time. But like with Future, the 5-3 is just not enough anymore. Does have the power shot, but then we got the, he is pretty much extinct at 3 mil with a rapid playstyle plus. No upgrade on the weak foot, but people will consider the power shot to the rapid. It's going to be very, very good for a winger, even though you could like him more as a striker. striker, he did get that version as well in the ice form. But I do think Rashi's still got a chance to go up. Hopefully we do see him in the near future become that incredible striker again. As wing is nice, but I love him as an up-front player. And then we have Kvaratskhelia. Lovely card. I was gutted with this 89 upgrade because A, he didn't have a double playstyle plus. He got a 1 upgrade that you could already have done in the evolutions from a finisher, from the gold version. You could pay I think it was 200 or 250 for that. Obviously that one was already gone now, so you can't do it anymore. But they knew this at the time. Like, I was in the middle of doing that 89 when this SBC came out for 760k. He was about 900 with inflation. But like Dembele, he's already a 5.5. Technical plus is good, but I definitely wouldn't say it's an extra 400k value again. And then we did get the radioactive prior at 228, gives the chemistry bonus, let alone anything. Then we got an inform that just absolutely poops over them all, because technical's nice, I'll give you that. Trickster, not that much of a fan. It doesn't really affect my game massively. But you've got 35,000 coins for an 88 that really isn't terribly lower than the 89, which is crazy. Yes, there's a few extra little bits, like we're looking at a 4 decrease on pace, shooting's the exact same, passing's 1, dribbling's 1. I don't think an extra 730,000 coins is worth 4 pace. For me, it's just absolutely ludicrous. And then after that, we have this. In terms of the winger, love Hansen, love Salah. I think both of them are absolute ballers. They work incredibly well. But look at the amount. Like, we've got 11 players with 2 players. We've got Hansen's gold coming in at 80. We have Salah's gold coming in at 32, which is just nuts in itself. I still think both of them at a very, very low budget could still give you some work. You got Finesse, you got Trickster. And then we go up in the ratings and price. We've got Salah's 90 coming in at 460. It's a bit of an upgrade. When it comes to a gold or an inform, I normally would say probably start at like the 92. There is obviously a player of the month in here as well, but I've not put him in as you can't finish it anymore. But in terms of kind of the 92, you're looking at 1.2 mil. You're looking at a 1.2 mil, 1.4 mil. You've then got 700 for the 91 and also 540. So realistically, you're starting at that that second inform at a minimum. I would say the Team of the Year honourable is a nice upgrade. It is the same as the third inform in fact, but it has got the double playstyle plus being flair. I can understand that. I don't really like the progression system here. 189, 190, technically 391s with a player of the month and 392s. Where is his next upgrade? I know that they're trying to keep him down from 99. That's fair enough. But that is absolutely criminal because, well, actually, technically, yeah. Winter Wildcard and Trailblazer are 2 out of performance-based promos. I can understand his informs as player of the month. They are at a point where they can't control that. If he scores 3, 4, 5 goals every week for a solid 2 months, you're gonna have to give him an inform. Like, there is no argument to there. They can't say, oh, he's scored too many goals, we're not giving him inform. I guarantee they would, but that is unfortunately out of their control. Whereas these are. Then we have Hansen. Very similar. We've got the 90 rated gold. We have the 91 at 433, one that's on my super sub list. We then have 850 for her Trailblazer. Not a big fan. And then we did get the brand new 92 at 1 million. And we do have a Team of the Year coming in very, very soon because she is exceptional. We then have the Calm Before the Storm. These are kind of just under the budget of the absolutely crazy. We've got the likes of the 2 sons that can play left wing and can play right wing, depending on your choosing. We have a very expensive Ansu that I personally I've only put him in here to say, don't buy him. I get that he can be upgraded, but that is just criminal. Ansu is a very good winger, but is no more than 100, 200k at max. There is no shot I ever buy an Ansu for 1.6 mil unless he was maxed out at 99 with a 5.5 and 5 playstyle pluses in the start of the game. There's just no way he is ever going to be worth 1.6. If they lose their first match or second match or don't get upgraded, just watch what that card's price is. Willian, I still think is a good upgrade. There is still some players I don't think is worth the price. I don't think Willian is 1.3. I understand the supply of him wasn't necessarily crazy, and he was one of the most highest rated cards you could get. But then the same as Garnacho and Doku. 2.1 for Garnacho. No thank you. I think Doku's come down at, well, 1.8. Still a very good card, but I'd be expecting a 93, 94 Doku for that amount. And I think that is just where the inflated market actually is. So it is kind of just supply versus demand versus how many coins are actually in the game. That is the bit that's really inflating the market. But even then, I still think for 1.8, you could get so much better. We look at a Georgie Best, he's 1.8. I personally think when it comes to the actual skills side of stuff, Best is better. Even Ginola, 1.1. 5-star Ginola. Arguably, you'd put him more as a striker, if anything, but he definitely could still play the wing a lot better than most of these cards. We have the two Jarzinhos, we're coming in at 1.2 and 2.3, a crazy jump. Whether you'd agree that a +1 and very little upgrade is worth that extra, I totally agree with you. Whereas Garrincha, I love this winter wildcard. He's coming in at 1.8. It's a great upgrade from his previous version, even though, again, not necessarily the biggest upgrade. I think the card just works perfectly in background. Sometimes the look of the card always sways my opinion, but when it comes to it, I wouldn't necessarily even pay 1.8 for him either. I think we've got to a point of a game where the coins are just not needed. The only thing I use coins for is to buy packs now. It's absolutely crazy, but in terms of buying him, 1.8 is just an absurd amount of coins for a card that potentially just gets another upgrade in the next month. And then we have the Piece de la Resistance, the beautiful everyone's dream. This is some crazy, and we've got Liao there as well. We're just throwing him in at 3.8. Honestly, again, like Ansu, at least I could say with Liao, I like him better in-game than Ansu. I feel like he puts up more, and he is technically higher rated, but even then, 3.8 is criminal. I could literally see the most expensive road to the finals just absolutely flooring it. We've already seen it with Kimmich. I know he wasn't most expensive, but we've already seen him lose the value straight away from not getting that first match. But we have got 3 Vinnies, 2.5, 3 mil, and also 2.6. Crazy amount. We've got the brand new, obviously in form. He will drop down accordingly because naturally we only got him yesterday. So we have got plenty of time for that card to drop at some point. But I always love Vinny. On the wing, again, like we saw with the gold, he's absolutely fantastic. We then have the bigger upgrade for Ginola at 3.1. Again, it all depends on what I'm looking at. If I've got the coins, some of these cards are going to be worth it because they are the best of the best for a long time. We look at the Ronaldinho, 14.3. Like, you're not going to be watching this list if you can afford a Ronaldinho. No one has to tell you. Any version of Ronaldinho is worth it. 4.4, 7.9, and 14.3. Every single version is worth it. I would argue that I'd look, if I had an unlimited amount of coins, at the Thunderstruck or obviously the Future Star, as they are going to be the ones that drop last. But arguably, you might not lose as much from the base version if you was to sell him later on down the line as well. Whereas the Future Star is just absolutely broken in itself. We then have Mbappe. He is always the GOAT of every conversation. He's got multiple versions, like Salah, like Hansen, that is just crazy in itself. Hansen herself being a Team of the Year at 7.6. Just an unbelievably crazy card nonetheless. I love the gold, the inform, the trailblazer, let alone how good this Team of the Year is as well. And then obviously Nene. We love a bit of Nene. He more than likely will get another upgrade during FUT birthday. We might see it a little bit later on, and hopefully we get him into the Team of the Season as well if he does managers. I'm pretty sure he's injured now for quite some time. They will find a way to get him in there. Whether they wait till footies and give him an SBC as kind of like a moments, a flashback, that I can imagine will happen if he wasn't to get into like a community vote or Team of the Season because of the lack of performances. But that is going to be every winger that you should be having a look at. There's a couple that I've put in there, obviously, to just say, don't buy them. Make sure you're recognizing that. And let me know who your wingers are. Peace.